You on all chat. Put on my other glasses. Here we are. These are, I guess they're not called reading glasses, they're called computer glasses. So, and we keep going. We keep marching on with these tops for these teens and these shelter. I don't even know what to call them anymore. But we're marching forward, and I started off with some stuff. Okay, so next top we're going to, so you could take a 3-yard quilt that you have made, like I had, a throw, and extend it to a twin. Of course, there's directions in a 3-yard quilt book, how to make a twin and whatnot, but when you've already made that quilt, you kind of just need to go with it, right? Hi Norma, hi Deb, hi Sarah, Sherry, Linda, Pat. Yes, I got your email this morning. Melanie, Deb. I said that already, didn't I? Annette, briefly, good morning. And I have happy mail. I have happy mail. So I was confused. This came in yesterday, almost flashed my address. And look, it had little hearts. It was a little, this is how it came, you know, that's just how the company is. I did slice this open, and while I sliced this open, because I was using a scissor instead of one of those slicers, I did kind of get myself. So note to self, use one of those things if you have one. So here we are. So this was mailed from Soft Squares. I'm not sure exactly what it is, because Lynn normally calls me when she sends me something. So we have, here we go. Leanna, this is a care package from Pat. Enjoy. Oh, thank you, Pat. I figured once I saw this come out, which we talked about, the 12 Quilts of Valor. You're hitting the road. Be safe. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Regina. So, yes, 12 quilts of Valor. I'm going to take this to school with me so I can do some homework. Then we have some Presencia cotton thread. Could always use that. And then, let's see what we've got. Oh, 2 yards. Well, this says 2 yards. Everything's saying 2 yards. Okay, here we go. We could do something. So we have 2 yards. Oh, look at how cute this is. I got, not that that's not cute, but the chickens, the little chicks got me. Look at how adorable. What is this? This is called, from Wyndham Fabrics, Heather Valentine's The Sewing Lot. But look at the little chicks or birds. I don't know, but they're super cute. Isn't that cute? I did not answer her email yet. I haven't really been up that long enough to do that. I did read it while I was in bed. And then we have some whites. These are 2-yard cuts. We have this. It's like a white with some pinkish, but I think once put with red, it's going to be just fine. It's going to be great. And then 2 yards of white. Who doesn't just need regular white? I love it. Thank you so much, Pat. Well, these will be going into vet quilts. So we'll definitely be doing that. I'm still working on that. So thank you. I appreciate this so much. I am definitely, I know you and the vets, I read your email this morning, you and the vets all appreciate me, and I am so happy. I will email you later on. During my lunch or break. Did that fabric come from Soft Squares? Hi, Kathy. Yes, all this came from Soft Squares. So the Quilts of Valor, here, we'll go actually through that. And then this fabric. So this one here is a confetti cotton. I'm going to open it up because in case if you're interested and you want to order. This is called Shabby by Lori Holt. Oh, I love Lori Holt. Shabby. How did I miss Shabby? It's okay. I had to stop buying her line because really, I was just collecting it. Shabby. I would have never guessed that's a Lori Holt. Then this is the Sewing Loft Wyndham Fabrics. And this here is, I think this says the Sewing Loft too, didn't it? Yes, the Sewing Loft by Wyndham Fabrics. I love the chickies. Love, love, love the chicks. Or the birds. And this is going to go in over here with thread. We've been going through some thread. All right, thank you again. We'll be making more wonderful goodness with this. Good morning, Aunt Beck. I don't want this to get dirty. Here, I'm going to put it back in the box. Back in the box. Here, well, let's open this up. Now, even though I'm looking at this, even though they have some things with panels, it doesn't have to be a panel. Remember, I can maybe even use those things and put that in the center. You really can be creative, but it gives you a starting point. So we have Celebration. Now this one says 60 by 80, so that's a good size. We have Grand Prize. This says 57 by 75, so we'll just add an additional border to that, and it'll be just the size it needs to be. Daring Spirit. This is 50 by 68 or 63 by 81 with optional border. So we put the optional border on there. Oh, look at this, Farmhouse Blues. Oh, I like this. Could this use up my 5.5-inch squares? 5-inch charms? No, it can't. It doesn't. But one can size it so it would work. Look at that. Because I have all those charms. But we could resize this to make it work. Fernanda, I wouldn't even have thought of that. That's cute. Fernanda, this is 55 by 73, so you slap on an extra border. Gallant, this is 60 by 70. So this one we'd have to, and I'm looking at the quilt, see, it has a top border and a bottom border, no side borders, so we just extend that border that's on the top and bottom to this. I have tons of Lori too, and I stopped buying also when she went from collection to 1,000 line. Yeah, it started becoming a money thing for me. And then look at this. This kind of reminds me of kind of what I just did, but vertically. This is called Honor. So this is good. This is 56 by 76. So you slap on another border and you're good. Oh, that's beautiful. I wonder where they found that panel. Look at this panel. Isn't that beautiful? This is 59 by 76 with borders. So you, again, add. You just add to get to the size you need. This is 63 by 72. And this is called Salute. We have Star Rail right here. 60 by 72. Oh, this would be simple. This is called Stars and Stripes. This is 56 by 70. One can add easily another border to that. Oh, I like that. And Yesterday. Oh, this looks good. This looks like it could be good for scraps. And this one is 55 by 70. Again, add some borders and you got the size you need. Good morning, Jessica. Annette, you know, you have the, you can drop your link because you are a moderator. Deb dropped hers yesterday. So, good morning, everyone. Jessica, good morning. I got the tracking number. Jessica's sending me some quilts to work on. And let's go with some of this. So, I pulled out this one. Our Psychedelic Kitties. This is a 3-yard quilt. I think this was in Make It Modern, but I'm not sure. Oops. Here it is. I've done this on my channel. You probably can look that up. I made this quilt. I have the kitties upside down. Let's try that right side up. Now, someone said where I got this kitty fabric in a surprise bundle from Fabric Cafe. But I actually just recently saw this kitty fabric on Kaleidoscope Quilting, which is www.lab, hold on. I think it's the Lab Quilts. So the lady who does the Kaleidoscope boxes, I think I saw this on her website when I was looking, when she's having a sale. Great patterns, beautiful quilt. All right, so this quilt measured 47 by 65. And I needed 13 inches and 15 inches, so added, which would be about a 7-inch on the top, no, on the sides, and an 8.5, about 8.5 inch, 16, no, about 7.5 inch on the top and the bottom, which I cut to 8 inch. That is great packet of patterns. If you need a quick Christmas gift, change colors to the yesterday quilt. One of the ladies made it. It's quick and cute, and Soft Squares has that oak. Hi, Nikki. All right, so I have two sizes going on. I had this fabric with this. My guess was I was going to use this as backing fabric for this quilt, so I'm actually going to use it to extend the borders. So we're going to use this to extend the borders. So the side borders have to be 7 so that I have 6.5 on both sides, which would give me the 13. So let me measure. This is an 8-inch piece. That goes for the top and bottom. This one's 8. And this must be the 7-inch piece. Yep, that's the 7-inch piece. All right, so we're going to add this right to our quilt here. And then this will give us the size that we're looking for. So there we are. I hope everyone is doing well today. I'm going to move you down. I'm going to move you down and move you closer right now. Love the colors from your tween. I'm going to pull this off and I'm moving us. I do too. I love, hold on. I think I have this. Believe it or not, there it goes. I love it as well. We're going to do one of these. There we are. And that is, I know, what is that? And we'll learn some information on that flower. And we have that they are daffodils, and they are. So let's learn a little bit about daffodils. This is a true or false question. Question 1 is always a true or false. Ready? Daffodil bulbs can be cooked and used as a substitute for leeks in stews. True or false? This is good for survival question too. Norma says true. We have some more trues. We have, Nikki says false. Annette says false. All right, so the answer is, excuse me, I have hibiscus tea in there, cold iced tea. I have hibiscus iced tea. It's so good. So the answer is false. This is very important for survival reasons. Daffodils are poisonous and should never be eaten. So nobody go out there snacking on some daffodils when we go on our little vacations, in which always end up in some kind of craziness. Do not eat daffodils. Do not decorate your cake with daffodils either. Do not stick that stem in there. If you do that, you need to make sure you wrap that stem in something. Or better yet, just don't do it. Annette just put up her channel. Good morning, Aisha. I wish you all could just do that. But the only people who are allowed to do that are moderators. All right, ready? This is a multiple choice question. The daffodil is the national flower of which of these countries? A, Albania, B, Scotland, or C, Wales? The daffodil is the national flower of which of these countries? A, Albania, B, Scotland, or C, Wales? Now, I know I need more to this, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this started, and I'll add to this in a little bit. Okay, so we have C, lots of whales. Now this is my 8-inch piece. I don't need all this 8-inch, and so I could cut this down to 7. That's why I'm waiting. So I'm going to add this to this side now. All right, you ready? Next question. So C, Wales is the correct answer. Name the charity that runs a fundraiser called the Daffodil Days. Name the charity that runs a fundraiser called the Daffodil Days. We used to do that at our school. We don't do that anymore. But we used to order daffodils from this. That used to be a thing. I love this fabric. There's something so much fun about this fabric. I got it in blue and black, and I don't know. There's something very fun about it. Let's see. Add a question and answer. Oh, it went away again. It knows I'm asking you questions, and then this thing pops up, but then when I go to try to do it, it goes away. So Annette says the American Cancer Society. Anybody else need to chime in? All right, so I know where I'm at with this. So I could take this off. No, I can't. There it goes. I could take this one off because we don't need two of those, and cut that down to 7 inches. Yes, I wasted an inch, but I really didn't know where I was at, so it's the casualty of fabric when you're guesstimating. So I'm gonna put this over here. Why is this not, that didn't work again. Let's try that. Let's see. Annette, why can't I click on the link? I had that problem yesterday too when I thought Deb gave her link. I'm not sure. It is the Cancer Society. This goes to the top and bottom. And I need to cut this down to 7. So I'm going to take 2 seconds. And with that, I'm going to leave you a picture, another picture. This is an animal, so I know what is this animal. I will cut this down. Right. Here we go. Where are we at? We're over here. So I'm adding this strip to here, and then I will continue sewing this down. It's itchy right there. Ooh. All right, here we are. We're gonna go sew down this. We will have this done. At least we'll have this top done, ready to be long-armed. Let's see. I checked and it worked. It does go crazy. So this here, nobody guessed what this was? Oh, here, it looks like a stingray with chicken pox. Someone said no clue. Oh, a manta ray. Daisy, right? Oh, Dizzy. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but good morning. It's Dizzy, I think, because it's D-E. Okay, so it's a stingray. Hi, Melanie. So, okay, so true or false? Stingrays are capable of flying above water for short distances. True or false? And And another one bites the dust. This bag keeps getting bigger. And look at this bag. This bag keeps just growing. That bag just keeps growing. Here we are. I want to see if this is a new spool. I want to see if I have an open one that needs to get used up first. And yes, we're going to use up this first. I'm going to use up this thread. This is a good time to use up some thread that we have two laying around. Right, we're here. Let's see, what do we have? So we have true, true, true. There is thread in your window. Oh, yes, there is. You're right. I'll have to pull that over. Oh, it's attached to that. Never mind. I'm just going to leave it there for right now. That's the machine I use if I need a decorative stitch of some sort. True. Hi, E-Marie. So the answer is false. Stingrays are capable of flying above water for short distances. According to them, it says false. Number 2, and this is multiple choice. Which of these is not true? Which of these are not true? All stingrays are venomous. Okay, that's A. B, stingrays are only found in salt water. Or C, stingrays have cartilage skeletons. So which of the following is not true? A, all stingrays are venomous. B, stingrays are only found in salt water. Or C, stingrays have cartilage skeletons. We have A. I missed the question, but I thought I'd chime in, no problem. We have some A's and we have some B's. Oh, this is going to be close. Look at that. I'm going to be short that amount. I have to cut into the fabric for that short amount. You kidding me? All right, well, we're going to do something else because I think I have that link in that other bit. So let me stitch this back a couple. Okay. And we're going to take the other length of fabric. I have to cut this with, so see, I have to cut that off. So let me do that. As I reach over, we have A's and B's, and I'm gonna reveal the answer. You ready? I'm just going to, I have to square this. Perfect. I try not to waste any fabric, especially when I'm so close. Here it is. This is the end I could sew down. I'll put this here. This is only an issue when you have two different sizes going. And there was an inch different between the two sizes. I guess I should have just not been neurotic. But yes, I was being neurotic this morning about the size. I don't think anybody would have missed that inch. Okay, so ready? The answer is B. Stingrays are only found in salt water. Number 3, this is a blank, so you fill in. What famous documentary filmmaker was killed by a stingray in 2006? Who was the famous documentary filmmaker killed by a stingray in 2006? I think a lot of us may know this. I actually knew this. He liked to fight with alligators. His son is still in the biz. Yes, we do know it. Yes. Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. I think it gave him a heart attack. Was it something cardiac from the venom and stuff? Yeah, don't play with stingrays. Hi, Maria. Hi, Catherine. Okay. So we did this, and we did this, and this. So we'll put these over here. Let's see. We got some true and false questions. Ready? Nature. This is a nature true and false questions. Early footballs really were made of pigskin. Early footballs were really made of pigskin. We have some truths. Daughter met his son when she went. Oh, your daughter met his son when she went to the Australia Zoo. That's cool. On the pier at the beach. Freaks me out. Well, that freaked me out too. I hear they are good eating. Hi, Rebel. I wouldn't know. Hi, Chloe. So, it is a myth. It is false. False. Footballs were made of cowhide, but early soccer balls were made from inflated pig bladders. I did not know that. So, let me repeat that again for all of y'all. Here, ready? Footballs were made of cowhide, but early soccer balls were made from inflated pig bladders. Like, who woke up one morning and decided, I'm going to inflate a pig bladder, and us people are going to go around and start kicking it around? I mean, who comes up with that? Who wakes up in the morning and thinks that up first thing in the morning? I mean, you know, I know soccer is very popular. I have a soccer nut living with me, but like, who really thinks to inflate that first thing in the, like, whenever it was they thought of that? Oh, wait. Look at this. I'm going rogue here. I gotta cut that. I forgot to put the rest of this on here. Okay. See, I'm only short this much, but I have this much left. So we are going to just kind of cut. And then I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this because I know it's an 8-inch piece. So we're going to cut 1 inch off of this. There we are. And this is the side that is good. So I'm going to come back here. Yes, you're seeing a lot of unique piecing going on here. This is just because I've got to save fabric where I could save fabric. especially when I'm cutting it very close. I did have some of this fabric left, but I didn't want to cut into it because it's actually a half-yard cut that I have exactly a half-yard cut left. I hear they're good eating. I grew up on the Gulf Coast, but I am a snob when it comes to fish. Someone looking someone looking for something to do. No Netflix back then. True. Very true. That's so true. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this row and then finish up that, and then we will have extended this 3-yard quilt with just a big giant border. I was thinking that maybe I should like strip piece a border and this and that, and I'm thinking no, I'm getting too fancy now. I need to like be present that we need a lot of quilts done in a short amount of time, and big quilts at that. So sometimes there's no time for fancy. Fancy. Super late as always. Buenos dias. Quilty piece. Buenos dias, Johnny. All right, so we have that. And I'm going to flip this one over. Oh, I'm going to cut this little bit off. I'm going to square this off. I'm going to try to square this off. Without cutting that fabric, I'm going to try to square this off. There we go. Okay, that's not going to happen. We're going to have to square it off this way. Let me get my square. In this case, I have to square it the old-fashioned way. And so there we go. I'm going to put this on the line, the sewing line, and that, and we are good to go. And now we could finish this off. This would have been so much easier if I just, let's say, decided to use 7.5, took the medium, but which is what I should have done. I'm pretty sure I should have just taken the medium, and the little inch that it would have been short would have been okay. And there we are. I will take this again with my ruler, my square ruler that is. And we have it. It's been extended. I think it's cute. And this one is ready for the long arm. What I don't have is backing for it that would kind of match it. Even out of those other backings that I had, I didn't find something I really was crazy about. As a matter of fact, I have to show you the purple quilt. The purple quilt I had to piece, love you cardigan, thank you. I had to piece 2 purple pieces. I went into my regular stash. Remember I said we cleaned and we found bigger pieces. So I had 2 big pieces of purple, not of the same fabric. So one line is of one purple and one line is another for the backing of that. Same thing, I have big pieces, but not 4 yards big pieces. So I have this right here. And this was, what was this called? This was called, back in the day, Springs Industries, quilters only. So that's what that is. And this one here is called Elizabeth Studio. That's all it says, Elizabeth Studio. It doesn't even say the year. Sometimes it's fun to see the year. I've been using my stash for backings, and some of it's crazy. But, so this is the deal. I had enough, 60, I think this was a 70-inch piece with a, 70-inch and with a fabric. And this was, I don't know, 50, I do know, 58. This was 58. And then I found this. And you know what? They're all blues. They kind of go together. So I did is I went ahead and took this piece that was short, trimmed it straight, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this piece, right? I'm going to add this piece to here, so until I get the length that I need. I mean, it's going to be fine. I keep telling myself, Leanne, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and add this piece right to the bottom of this, and then I'm going to take from the selvages over and stitch that other piece. So this is actually going to have 3 pieces because I had nothing else that was going to match. This was going to be the closest that I can get it. I looked through my green stash and I had some green. I pulled it out there and I put it next to it, and I didn't like the way it looked because it's a very different green than what I used in the front. Not that it has to match the front, but it just, I don't know. I found that these blues matched the cat because the cat has so many blues in it that I feel like it was a little bit more cohesive. What does that say? Good morning, Joydy. Your block yesterday. Thank you. She received the block from someone, and it was beautiful. That's what she's saying. Okay, so we did the early pigskin. I'm gonna give you this here. The deer botfly. This is nature. True or false? Ready? The deer botfly can fly faster than a jet plane and has been clocked at 818 miles per hour. The deer botfly. I've never even heard of the deer botfly. But can it fly faster than a jet plane and has been clocked at 818 miles? True or false? A botfly. I wonder what that looks like. A deer botfly. So here we are. This was an extra piece I didn't need. This was actually off of a backing already. I already backed a quilt with that. So that was the cut off piece of that. And look at that. That backing scrap just worked for this. I do need to cut it though in this one spot because it's a bit longer. See right there? Okay, so now I take the selvage piece of this and the selvage edge of this. This is that quilt top has to go there. And then I'll have a backing. Again, this is a little bit more than 67 inches, and I'm just going to go with it. And as you can see, I'll just cut it afterwards. And so this has to go on to 3. A botfly. Let's see if anybody knows about the botfly. I'd like to know how anyone would clock that. That would be a good question. Who would make that up? It's got to be right. True. So I don't know how someone would clock that, but it is false. So maybe that's why nobody clocked it. It says though, I'm going to give you what they think the facts are. The deer botfly travels at 6. Well, someone had to figure out how fast these things fly. I don't know how, but the deer botfly travels at 64 miles per hour. a ratio of 300 body lengths per second. A jet fighter at Mach 3 is faster, but only reaches about 100 body lengths per second. Hence, the source of this is a myth. I don't know what that, I just read that to you and I have no idea. My brain went, like, really? Oh, first thing in the morning? Botfly. Well, I'm in the library. Maybe I'll find a book about botflies. Okay, ready? Nature again. Ants have been known to go to war with and enslave other ants. If you're on here right now, if you wouldn't mind double tapping the screen, I would appreciate it. That gives me the thumbs up. So all I'm doing is, I should have like ironed this, especially this selvage isn't completely ironed, but I'm getting it there. You just take your time, and I do the selvage to selvage just for the fact that it's straighter, or one of the straightest places. And I open this up. As a matter of fact, because this is a little wrinkly, I'm going to go ahead and just pin a little bit of this. Here we are. This helps me out. Let's see. So we have true. Good morning, Sheila. I'm listening and getting ready for the day. Sherry thinks this is true about the ants. I'll give a couple more to say. Let's see. Not good creatures. They deposit their eggs under the skin, and the larva develops under the skin. Humans can get that also. Ew. Hi, Catherine. Ew. Ooh, you just gave me the creeps. Okay, so here we go. The answer is true. It is true. Ants have been known to go to war and enslave other ants. Ants, here we go. Ants of the Polyergus samurai species kidnap the larva and pupa of other ants and raise them as slaves. Wow, I didn't even think ants had, I hate to say it, I didn't think ants had that kind of intellect. I guess it's just in them, right? I guess it's just in them. They're born with I don't know what to say about that. That blows my mind. It really does. That really blows my mind. Okay, ready? Here we go. Last question of the day. Moths will fly into flames and bright lights. True or false? So ants are evil. Ants are evil. That's what everyone is saying. They truly are. Well, I know Puerto Rico, they like to bite you. The fire ants, oh, I hate when I step on a mound. And then the next day I have all the pus things that happen after you. Yeah, it's not pretty. Okay, so this backing has, it doesn't have issues, but it does have to be trimmed in different places. Like that one area has to be trimmed on the side, and this has to be trimmed on the length. I'll show you. Because you want everything straight when you're going to put it on the long arm. So I do have to cut some of this fabric, about this much. And then over on this edge over here, I have to cut this much. And that's not a project for this morning because I have to go to work. But now we have a backing. Look at that. We have a backing for this quilt. And it'll be getting ready to be on the long arm. But I do have to trim up and get this backing all squared up. I also have to cut off these selvages, in which I'm going to iron before I do that. See right here. There we are. Actually, I don't. I actually got all ironed out, so, but I'm just going to leave that like that. So when I get home, and so let's go with our last question. Moths will fly into flames and bright lights. A lot of you have said, thank you, Mona. Good morning. And good morning, Michelle. Yes, a lot of you have said true. So the answer is false. Research, and I thought it was true. Research shows moths will fly towards a bright light, but will generally avoid contact, preferring to circulate about a foot away. And this depends on the species. And so with that said, I do have to run to work. I was running late this morning. So everyone, please take care of yourself. Pass it forward. If you don't like what you see, please don't tune in. No, but if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. If you don't mind on your way out giving me the thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.